Alright, so I made it out to Kings Island. Haven't been here in 3 years. They've gotten a new coaster since the last time I was here. I'm not a super big fan of the park, but they do have two really good coasters. Diamondback and the Beast are both absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to ride this again. Plus they got the new GCI coaster, which is highly themed, which it just sounds amazing. Finally at Kings Island again. So excited for Mystic Timbers. Also, Peanut Celebration, which Knott's did earlier this year. They were the first park to do it. I don't think there's any other park that's announced it except for this park. So I'm kind of interested to see how it works here at Kings Island with the Peanut Celebration. So, interesting experience walking into the park. The person at the front gate said I couldn't come into the park because I was wearing a Cedar Point shirt. Like, not jokingly saying it, like, legit, like, you cannot come into the park. She had to ask someone. I'm like, it's not an employee shirt. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to come into the park with it. Like, I'm not in employee clothes. This is just a shirt that says Maverick on it. It's a ride shirt. Like, why? That makes no sense. Like, why? I've never seen that. Like, I've walked in the Cedar Point many times with Cedar Point, like, ride shirts, and they've never said anything. But I walk into Kings Island with a Cedar Point ride shirt, and they're like, no, that's too close to an employee shirt. Like, what? I don't know. That just was weird. Well, here's Diamondback, and here's the new Mystic Timbers from last year. The new GCI Woody. And I am a big nut for theming. And like, oh my, this looks so good. Like, the whole what's in the shed thing looks amazing. I know what's in it. I mean, it's not like it's a big surprise, but I think it looks great. Everyone says, oh, it's kind of underwhelming. No, it looks great to me. Oh, and there's no line. I am so excited. Okay, Mystic Timbers is pretty good. Coaster-wise, it's kind of okay, but theming-wise, oh, it's top-notch. It's so good. That is probably the best themed wooden roller coaster I've ever ridden. That is so good. It's layout-wise though, very similar to Prowler at Worlds of Fun, which is great. I'm sure it makes a great night ride. Sadly, won't have time to ride it at night. I have to leave it at 7:30. But oh, that was so good. So I got second to front row on Diamondback. It's a lot smoother than it used to be. The wheel assembly still jiggles like crazy, which is so fun to watch. Like going over the airtime hills, it's just like jiggle, jiggle, jiggle the entire time, but it's a lot smoother than it used to be. And I like second to front row just because you get that, it's almost feels like a wing coaster. Just because the seats are really close to the outside of the track. And I just love that outside seat. Though it is a wheel seat, I'll take it. I prefer sitting on the edge versus sitting in the middle. There it goes down the drop. And then over the airtime hill. Next up is the legendary Beast, one of the all-time best wooden roller coasters ever built. It was built in-house by Kings Island, and it is still phenomenal to this day. It's just pure laterals, just long ride. Longest coaster in the US. And second longest wooden roller coaster in the world behind Montaña Russa at La Feria. So I've ridden the two longest wooden roller coasters in the world. Such an awesome ride. So I just got off of the Beast in the second to back row, and oh my, what a great ride. Such a fantastic wooden coaster. People complain about the trims, but the trims are totally necessary because there's no banking on those turns. I mean, if it didn't have the trims, it would be Chimera at La Feria, which would not be allowed in the US. That thing is too intense. But yeah, it's not an airtime coaster, so when you're going over the hills, don't expect airtime. It's not an airtime coaster, it's a lateral coaster. And oh, it's so good, so good. So much laterals, such a long ride. Like, usually I don't really care if a ride is long or short. I just like the ride experience, but it just goes on forever. It doesn't end. and it's absolutely fantastic. So this is my second time riding Firehawk. I haven't ridden it since 2015. That is so good. I don't know how, but it's the smoothest ride in the park. It's a Vekoma, a relocated Vekoma, and it's the smoothest ride in the park. Like, glass smooth, not a single bump on the entire ride. So smooth, and it's so much, they're so better designed than the B&Ms. Just the fact that they load you on your back instead of laying on your front, or like loading you facing straight down. And then, you know, just better the weight till the flip you over onto your stomach until the drop. I think that's just a smarter idea, because if you get stuck in the brakes, it's not torture. Because like on B&Ms, especially Tatsu, because of the stacking, it can be absolute like torture just hanging face down. And this, the restraints are much better. You got more leg room. Vests don't hurt. I just think the Vekoma flyers were designed way better than the B&M ones. So this is a 4-way from Skyline Chili. This is like a Cincinnati thing. I haven't had this before, so it's basically spaghetti with chili, cheese, and onions on it. It looks really good. It sounds disgusting, but I'm hoping it's actually really good, and it looks really good. Alright, so Skyline Chili's a must if you come to Kings Island. Last time I came to Kings Island, I got Skyline, but I just got a chili dog, and I don't think their chili dogs are very good. But their 3 and 4 ways, oh my, those are really good. So basically what it is it's spaghetti topped with chili, cheese, and onions. That's the 4-way. 3-way is just without onions. And oh, it's so good. You would think that would be nasty, but oh, it's so good. So here's the new barbecue place that opened this year. I'm pretty sure it's you know, the typical Cedar Fair barbecue place. Like one Knott's opened up this year, and Cedar Point has one that's very similar. It's all the same kind of food. They provide really good food. So I'm glad they got one of those, and it looks nice. It's maybe not as nice as the one Knott's got, but it actually looks pretty good still. I'm actually legit scared right now. I'm going to ride Banshee, which was one of the most painful coaster experiences I've ever had at a theme park. Excruciating pain every time I rode it back in 2015. Excruciating pain due to those horrible, horrible vest restraints. I don't know what caused it, but I've heard other people that are tall and skinny have issues with them as well. So I don't think I'm the only one that has issues with it, but I'm hoping maybe it's not that bad this year. No, that was 3 years ago, so I'm not sure. If it does hurt, I'm never riding this thing again. Alright, so Banshee didn't kill me this time. Like, it hurt so bad back in 2015. I was crying coming up the lift hill just now, expecting it to be that same excruciating pain, and I didn't get it. I sort of got it towards the end. It started to happen, but it wasn't bad this time. I don't think I could ride it again right now. I can't marathon this ride or it will start to hurt. It's the same way with Gatekeeper. If I ride Gatekeeper twice, it hurts like crazy at the end. And I'm pretty sure it will be the same way with Banshee, but one ride on it I can do now. And I'll show the on-ride picture that I got. You can tell, I mean, I had my hands up just because I have to have my hands up, I always do. But I was legit terrified. I was basically crying because I was expecting excruciating pain this year. So I just got off of the bat in the second to back row. That is such a great aero suspended coaster. That's probably the best one I've ridden out of the 3 I've ridden. I mean, it's just a much more intense ride than all the other ones. Like Ninja's kind of more family oriented, and then definitely Iron Dragon's way more family oriented than this. This is more of a thrill, and it kind of makes me sad that Eagles Fortress isn't around anymore, because I've heard you know, the people that rode that was one of the best coasters ever built, and I could see why if this thing was just a tad more intense. Oh, they would be so good, like really good. Okay, watch it coming into the brake run. Look at how much it swings. it's still swinging up, and then it stopped. Like, that's a lot of swinging. Gotta pay tribute to one of the most iconic wooden roller coasters in the world, Son of Beast. Its station is now for Haunt, just used for Haunt. See, there's some old track from Son of Beast. It's kind of sad that they replaced it with a B&M invert, because Banshee does not live up to the hype that Son of Beast was. I never rode Son of Beast, but a wooden coaster with a vertical loop, you just don't ever see that. Alright, so I've been wandering around the park for about like 15 minutes or so. Pretty much everything is closed. You can see Vortex's lift stopped. Diamondback is stacked up completely, and I don't know if they're evacuating them or not, but they're walking on the ride-ups are walking on the catwalks, talking to people. Mystic Timbers is down, Banshee's down. Trying to think. Oh, this is down. So yeah, a lot of things are just down right now. It looks like some of Planet Snoopy is open. That's about it. Considering every single ride I've seen is down right now, I'm assuming it's actually a power outage and not just heat related. Because usually with the heat, I mean, this was happening the other day at Cedar Point. A few rides went down, but there were still some open. Considering everything is down, like even Dodgems are down, I'm assuming it's some kind of power outage. Usually when I have a power outage, it might affect certain areas of the park, but they might shut down everything just to make sure everything is okay. So my guess is things are going to be down for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm probably going to try to find something like some kind of indoor area to just hang out in. Alright, so rides are starting to open back up. Diamondback's open, and it's one of the few rides that are open right now. As you can see, there's a bit of a line for it. Considering it's a completely dead day, yeah, that's a line for it. So it's maybe like 15 minutes. It's not too bad. Now I really want to get on their log ride, but I don't think it's open. I don't see the water on the drop going, so I don't think that's open yet. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, Timbers is still down, which is sad because I really want to get another ride on it. Yeah, it's still down right now. Doesn't even look like they've cycled the train yet. I'm surprised though, considering like GCI is basically the B&M of wooden coasters. I'm surprised it's not back up yet, because B&M coasters, as soon as something like this happens, they're back up immediately. Like Diamondback, they wasted no time getting that back up, and I'm probably gonna guess Banshee's back up as well. Alright, so I just got off of the blue side on Racer, which is the side I didn't ride last time I was here. And actually, it wasn't too bad. It seems like it's a lot smoother than it used to be. It used to be quite a bit rough. I mean, I rode it on non-wheel seats, so that may have been why. But I'm gonna try Adventure Express. A lot of people say this is the best mine train ever built. I'll see. When I rode it, I was kind of on it. It has the one thing that really like gets on my nerves about old aero terrain coasters. It ends with a lift hill. I don't like that when it does that. It's stupid. Like Thunderation had it right. At least if you're gonna end with a lift hill, at least do a drop and then come back up into the station. Like, do that. Please don't just put a lift right into the brake run. Like, don't. It's stupid. But yeah, I don't remember it being awful by any means, but it was definitely not the best mine train. Prefer Cedar Creek Mine Ride and Quicksilver Express. Quicksilver Express is amazing. So I actually liked Adventure Express more this time. It's still a very strange mine train because it has a very weird theme. Like, you would think it's all like Wild West theme until you get to the end. Like, there's nothing that indicates that it's like, that's supposed to be like kind of like African themed or like adventure themed or maybe like South America. But it's like, it's more like Indiana Jones themed, and you don't realize that till you get to the final lift hill and you're like, okay, wait, wasn't this Wild West theme? It's like, no, it wasn't. It's adventure themed. It's weird. It's a weird mine train, and the ending is so good too. And you're like, oh, where's the big? I mean, it's like it builds you up for this big drop. It has such great theming going up, and then all of a sudden it's just nope, brake run. So it's a weird ride. It's a really weird ride. Well, my opinion on Banshee has completely changed today. After getting a front row ride on Banshee, no problems with my back hurting this time. It's easily the best invert that I've ridden. Easily. Wow. Like, I used to hate this ride, and now it's actually one of my favorite invert. It is my favorite invert, at least of the B&M variety. It's like a slightly better Silver Bullet in my opinion. So I just did Extreme Sky Flyer. That's the Park Sky Coaster. It's upcharge attraction, but today was only $5 to do. So I was like, why not? I mean, that's a steal for a sky coaster. I think it's like at Magic Mountain, it's like $40 per person. It's like that. Why would I not do it? So yeah, it was definitely worth it though. I love sky coasters. They're so much fun. I mean, there's always that rough transition getting in from standing position to that flying position. It's just that rough. And then the rest of the ride is smooth sailing though. And I love pulling the ripcord. I mean, a lot of people are scared to do the ripcord. I just love yanking that thing, flying down. That's the first time though I've done a sky coaster in about 2 years. A little over 2 years. I've only done one before this. And that was the one at Worlds of Fun, which was a bit taller than this. It was probably about maybe 50 feet taller. So it was quite a bit taller. So I definitely want to do that. Definitely want to do the Florida one. That's 300 feet. I mean, I don't think it would bother me one bit to go higher than that. I love those things. They're so much fun. Now I'm gonna go try to do Invertigo. I'm going to try to get one of those seats that goes backwards first and then forwards second. I've never been able to get on it like that, so I'm going to see if I can try to get a ride like that. So I got to ride Invertigo in the middle this time, and it was actually pretty smooth. I was surprised. It wasn't too rough at all. Definitely, I used to prefer the regular boomerangs over it, but I think now I prefer the Invertigos over the standard boomerangs. Still not as good as the giant inverted boomerangs such as Magic Mountain's old Deja Vu / Goliath at Six Flags New England. Still find those better, even with the new trains Goliath has. After another ride on Mystic Timbers, I'm going to go ride Race for Your Life Charlie Brown. That's the log flume in the park. Okay, it looks like maybe that's not the best idea. They're pretty wet. I kind of want to really do this log ride, but at the same time I don't want to get that wet. Hold on, let me see how wet they get. Hold up. I don't know if I want to get that wet now that I think of it. Screw it, I'll do it. Why in the world is Backlot Stunt Coaster the most intense ride in the park? Like, seriously, that first helix is so intense. And then the rest of the ride is like it's like a launched wild mouse. That's literally what this ride is a launched wild mouse. It's absolutely insane, and I love it. It honestly pains me to say how much I hate this ride, but I really hate it. I love the theming. The theming is so good, but the ride is so rough and bad. That first half just, oh my god, it is rough. I can't, it's worse than, it makes like Manhattan Express look smooth. Holy shit, that was rough. Alright, so I had a fantastic day at Kings Island. First time I came here, I did not like this park very much, but it's actually kind of grown on me on this second visit. Reminds me a little bit of Kings Dominion. I still like Kings Dominion more, but it's a nice park. There's areas of the park that could definitely use improvement, but I love International Street, just a nice area. And got some souvenirs today. I got a Banshee shirt because I finally like the ride now. And then I've noticed over social media they've been promoting these really strange flavors for cotton candy, and I picked up about 3 of them. So I got sour apple, pancake, and then what's the other one? chili pepper. So I got quite a few interesting flavors here, and plan to try them out sometime in the future. So overall, great day at Kings Island. Not sure if I'll come back here again this season. If I do, I can't wait to come back. If not, hopefully next year. Before ending this video, I do want to point out I didn't notice anything from the Peanuts celebration. I don't know where it was supposed to be. I'm assuming Planet Snoopy, but I didn't see anything for it. I'm not sure exactly what it was, if it was just mostly food stuff, because I think they had some food stuff for it. That's all I really know about, and I didn't really see anything here, so I don't know how much of a celebration it was. Like Knott's Berry Farm, when they did their Peanut celebration, had quite a few things going on. I mean, it wasn't like super big, but they changed some of the rides around. Like they had it on the kiddie train that they have in Camp Snoopy. They put some static figures out for the Peanuts, and they did a little stuff to it. You know, they did a little stuff around the park. You know, to enhance the experience. Like they put kites in all the trees and stuff. Just like little nice touches like that. I didn't notice anything like that today. So, I mean, if you're coming for the Peanuts Festival or Peanut Celebration, I don't know what to expect, because I did not see anything related to the Peanuts other than the usual stuff that they do have. So I'm not sure what that's all about.